Welcome back, everyone. Well, we've got a quiet day tomorrow, so if you have things that you want to prepare ahead of a tropical system, if you've got loose furniture, debris, or anything in your yard that you're worried about blowing around, getting caught up in the wind, you've got a solid day, a quiet day to take care of that. Yard work or anything like that can get taken care of as well. Tomorrow, make sure that you do drink plenty of water. It will be a hot one. Here's to the tropics now. This is what the enhanced satellite picture looks like as of this Friday evening as Cristobal continues to push off of the Mexican coast and back out into the Gulf of Mexico, where it will start to intensify. And the intensification we had expected it to do. So it's behaving exactly the way we thought it would once it got off of land. You do see some flare-ups out there. And what I want to point out is the center is sitting right around here. All of the activity is sitting out over towards the eastern side of this storm, and it's going to stay pretty lopsided as we get into Saturday and Sunday as well. We're going to continue to see most of the impacts removed away from the center, and in some cases, you're probably going to see a lot of those impacts occurring outside of the cone. The cone of uncertainty, as we call it. It's the track can go basically anywhere within this cone. But notice that the warnings stretch out all the way through. That's out over towards the Destin area, all along Mississippi, and it's probably the Mississippi coastline that ends up seeing the worst of this storm, the heaviest rainfall to come along with it, especially if it adheres to this track, as we've seen it do in some of the model runs here as we've gone through the evening tonight. So this is what the cone looks like, the track looks like right now. At 10 o'clock, there was no real change with the positioning of the track. What we have seen change just a little bit is it has sped up a bit. Went out of the north now at about 14 miles an hour. That's going to bring it on shore just a hair earlier, maybe by a couple of hours. It still looks to be a Sunday evening, Monday morning type setup. And I think that the worst of our weather is going to be occurring late Sunday night. Now, that's not to say that we're not going to start to see the impacts of the storm arriving a little bit earlier. We may start to see some of it rolling on through. This is Sunday morning. You see some of those showers coming on shore here. And you got some rain bands that are going to be working their way through the area. The quick hitters that move heavy rainfall, but they're moving very, very quickly along with some strong winds. That's what we're talking as we get into Sunday. Not continuous rainfall, not just yet. That waits a little bit longer. Notice that the heaviest rainfall still sits to the east of the storm. This is where the center is. You've got the worst of it sitting, again, outside of that cone of uncertainty. And that's what it will look like going into early Monday. This is Monday, right around midnight. Somewhere on the eastern flank of this center, and it's continuously been hinted that it's probably going to be somewhere between about Biloxi and New Orleans. So really all of the Mississippi coast should watch for this, because it has been hinted that there's going to be a swath of very, very heavy rainfall, and you're talking maybe up to a foot, maybe 2 feet worth of rain in some isolated areas. That can cause some pretty significant flooding. Now for us, we're talking several inches worth of rain, probably on the magnitude about 3 to 6. Isolated areas a little bit higher than that, maybe closer to 8 to 10. But we start to see our heaviest rainfall early Monday morning as some of those bands start to wrap around. And you get the low that lifts just to our north. That's going to put some of the stronger type rainfall in our area, and we will see that pan out early Monday morning. And we'll keep some of the inclement weather maybe all the way through into Tuesday, because as this thing lifts, you're going to notice the winds will be pretty strong going late Monday into Tuesday. That may pull some moisture and showers to continue into Tuesday morning. What it's also going to do, those strong winds going to push the seas up a little bit. And I think our coastal flooding actually going to be taking place after the storm has made landfall and moves north. In fact, for Sunday and Sunday afternoon, you may actually see low water out over in Sippamore Point, because you're going to have a strong, steady breeze coming in from the north. But as these southerly winds get going into Tuesday, that's going to push some of that water up. When we're talking rain totals, this is what we're looking at. And when I mentioned Biloxi, look at some of those numbers out there. That's a pretty widespread area of about 12 feet, or about 12 inches or so, about a foot. And you may see that double. These numbers with the tropical system can easily double. So we're talking a couple inches worth across Acadiana. Now, if that track moves westwards a little bit, that's going to pull all those impacts westwards a little as well. And that's what you monitor as we go through the next couple of days. How does that track change from day to day? It has stayed fairly steady over the last couple of days, to give the model some credit. Here's a look at the winds. We'll probably see our winds start to pick up late Sunday, I think, is when we'll start to see tropical storm force winds, especially in the eastern parts of Acadiana. The coast may see it a little bit earlier. We'll see wind gusts about 40, 50 miles an hour, sustained winds at about 25 to 30. Earliest or most reasonable arrival time is going to be Sunday morning down along the coastline, Sunday evening up through Lafayette. Again, once everything gets going in Mississippi and to the east, we'll probably see it several hours after it gets going through there. 72 for your overnight low tonight. It is quiet here tonight, and it will be quiet again tomorrow. Again, good prep day. It will be very hot, though, 91 for the high, with a heat index running much higher than that. Winds out of the northeast at 10 to 15 miles an hour, gusting up to about 20-25. Tropical storm conditions likely for Sunday and Monday. Scattered rain chances for Tuesday. That will depend a lot on how that low pushes out of the area, but we are looking good through the middle of next week. Well, there's your look at weather. We'll be back right after this.